Hey there everyone, Erron Spalsbury here at 3xLOGIC. Today I'm going to be showing you how to add and remove users and even add and remove user groups from a DVR here. And this can actually be done directly through the client software as long as you have, of course, admin permissions. Now, right here off to the left, you'll notice I've gone ahead and connected to my server there at HQ. I'm then going to right-click on that server. The one I'm going to be after today is going to be server settings here. Now, if your server settings does not look like this, there's a good possibility you're running an older version of software, as this is a fairly new feature to our software, so you will need to go ahead and update your server and your client to perform this feature. I'm going to go ahead and click on server settings here. I'll get a nice little loading screen, and this does take just a few seconds here because obviously we're going to be pulling up all of the settings from the DVR. For those advanced users that are familiar with our software, you'll see that this is exactly like what you would have should you be sitting right there directly in front of the DVR and doing programming there. You do have full control through the client software here. The tab we're after today is going to be right here in the middle, the Users tab. And the way that we assign users is we have users that belong to a group, and the permissions are what are associated with the group. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to come in here and add a new user. If I click Add User, by default, I'm not going to have any group at all. If I click this, I then have all of the various groups I can assign them to, and of course, their username, password, and the confirmation would then need to be entered. But let's say, for instance, I want to give a new group a new set of permissions. I'm going to go ahead and click on Groups here. I'm going to come down here and click Add Group. For this demo purpose, I will go ahead and just simply call this my group test. You will notice you've got a number of different permissions here off to the right. First and foremost, the administrative settings dialog will enable all of the settings for an admin. However, if you leave this checked, and let's say, for instance, I didn't want even my admins to get into my server settings, you can uncheck these as you kind of go down through these, and it will pull them across as groups. For instance, user management. However, maybe I did want to give this person the ability to add and remove users. Well, I can turn that back on. So it is nice to be able to come in here and modify these really any which way that we want. Now, as I scroll down through here, you're going to see a lot of options, and I would encourage you to go through these kind of one at a time. For instance, things like allowing them to view live or perhaps even sub-streaming through the system. All of these are extremely granular and allow you full control over a particular user group. Once you get down here, of course, to the very end, we're going to run into all of our cameras, and I can enable or disable any of these as we go down through the list. One thing to note, if you do not have permissions to see a camera here, it would not appear in your camera tree there off to the left. So let's say, for instance, this is the group that we have in here, and now I want to add a user to this particular group. I'm now going to go back to the user group here, and I'm going to hit Add User. I would then come over here and select, of course, the new test group, give them a username and a password, and confirm it. That's all that it takes to enter a new group with a new user with obviously a custom set of permissions inside of here. Now, let's say, for instance, I have an existing user that I want to remove. For instance, let's say I wanted to pull Cesar out of here. It's just a matter of simply clicking on him, coming up here and hitting delete, which obviously I'm not going to do this to him, but that's all that it takes to do this. One note about this, you do have to come down here in the bottom right corner and either hit apply, which will apply the settings and leave you in the settings, or you can hit OK. If you hit OK, it will apply the settings and close this permission set or this dialog box that we have open here. But you do have to hit either OK or apply for these to take effect. That will restart the server and obviously take you right back to where you were at the very beginning. But guys, that's all that it takes to add or remove a user inside of our system, or even add a new group with a new set of permissions. We sure hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. We'll see you on the next one.